Hello everyone, my name is Marcus from It's Up and Running, and today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Game Pass. Since it's software, I can't hold it in my hands, but I'm going to try to use some special effects to drop it in from the cloud. Wow, it's so heavy. Some of you may be asking, what is Microsoft Game Pass? Microsoft Game Pass is a subscription video game service for Xbox and for computers. For $9.99 a month, you can add a Game Pass account to your Xbox. For $14.99 a month, you can get Game Pass Ultimate, which adds Game Pass to both an Xbox and a computer. So it's kind of like Netflix, but for video games. It offers a very wide variety of games, but like Netflix, eventually the games leave the subscription service. So, in this review, I am going to do a 3-2-1. That's going to be 3 good things, 3 bad things, a comparison, and a verdict. All right, so let's go on to the pros. Well, I guess I should say this first. I've been using Game Pass on PC for maybe about the past year or so. And I have been using Game Pass on Xbox Series S for about the past 2 months. So, on to those pros. Pro number 1 is there is a great game selection. Microsoft Game Pass has about 500 games to choose from and about 14 different genres. This includes very popular genres like platformers and shooters and role-playing games, and also some not so popular genres like card games and like simulations. Let's see, pro number 2. The Microsoft Game Pass has a very good user interface. The user interface, or also known how it looks, so how the software looks on PC is actually very clean. It's very well organized with different sections that are dedicated towards like new games and different game themes. It is also very easy to use and to navigate. Now, on Xbox Series S, or else actually for both Xboxes, Game Pass is very well integrated. It is added directly to the home screen. There are shortcuts to get directly to the Game Pass library built into the Xbox user interface. And also, the games that you download from Game Pass, they're actually stored in the same library as the games that you purchase. Pro number 3 is that this is a great value. So for $9.99 a month, you get access to 500 games. That's $120 a year. $120 is the price of 2 new games. So it's kind of like asking like the question of, do you want to pay $120 to access 500 games that you don't own, but you can still play them just like you do own them? Or else do you want to spend about $120 to buy 2 games that you do own, but then you're kind of stuck with only 2 games? So, I mean, you are definitely getting a lot with the $9.99 per month. So, those were the pros. Let's have a look at the cons. So, on to con number 1. And I think this is actually a very big con that a lot of people may not realize at first. But the ratings of the games on Microsoft Game Pass are not too reliable. The ratings in Game Pass are not reliable because either A, there are no ratings, or B, if there are ratings, there may be like 12 or 20 people that actually rated a very popular game. So this makes actually choosing a game to play and to a download kind of difficult, because if you download something that you don't like, then you just kind of wasted data. I really wish that Xbox would do something kind of similar to like what cell phones do, where Game Pass can determine if you've played a game for 4 hours or more, and then kind of ask you like, hey, like, do you want to rate this game? That would actually be pretty good, because then you would get more ratings, plus they'll actually be somewhat more accurate. Con number two is that some of the games that are on Xbox Game Pass for PC are not the most recent versions of the game. So when you go to play a game that's on Xbox Game Pass on PC, you'll see that sometimes that there are features that are missing. And these features are things like HDR, ray tracing, or DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling. So that actually makes the game run much smoother. But sometimes these features are missing. Recently, I downloaded a game for Xbox Game Pass on PC called The Ascent. So the game came out on Steam and on Game Pass at the same time. The Steam version actually had DLSS when it came out, which is great. The Game Pass version did not, and it took Microsoft about 2 weeks or so to actually add the feature into the game, even though it was already on the Steam version. Con number 3 is that some games do not work on console. I pointed this out in my Xbox Series S review, that some of the games, for some odd reason, when you download the game on console, it will get stuck on like the start screen. So you can't actually start the game, you can't play the game. You can quit the game, which is a good thing, but then again, at the same time, it's a bad thing, because it's like, okay, that's kind of trash that I have to quit this game. But the only way to actually make the game work is to restart the console. And then as soon as the console restarts, go back into that game directly. It's a super weird bug, and I've seen it happen with a few games. I'm not quite sure why Microsoft hasn't fixed this yet, but it is something that happens. I'm going to throw a con number 4 in here. It's because it's kind of a con, but it just depends on the person. But con number 4 is that depending on your internet plan, you can very easily go over your data cap. So it's kind of like Netflix, and how Netflix has like a very wide variety of like options. And sometimes you start like a movie, and then about 20 minutes into it, it's like, you're like, okay, like this isn't for me, and then you turn it off. Cool. There are some games that are just like that too, where you can see a trailer for a game, screenshots, read as much as like you want. When you download the game and then start playing it, it may not be a good game for you. So you're going to wind up deleting the game and then installing something else. Some of the games are very, very big files. So if you download a game that's 50 or 60 gigs and then you play it for, I don't know, like 2 hours or so, and then you find out that the game's not for you, and then you delete it, then that's 50 or 60 gigabytes worth of data that you kind of just wasted. And I know that some internet service providers, that they have pretty strict caps. I'm in a very lucky spot to where I actually don't have a cap at all. I mean, I kind of wish that Microsoft implemented like a trial version of like, I guess you could say like their most like popular games. That way you don't have to actually download, like the full game, but you can download like a piece of it and see if like you actually like it. And then if you do like it, then you can download the rest of it. that would probably be a very good idea. But I don't know, we'll see. Let's jump into the comparison. To form a comparison of a Microsoft Game Pass, it was kind of difficult. The only real parallel that I could find, well, that I could think of, is PlayStation Network. I had that for about 2 months. That was a dumpster fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was not good. I it was very buggy. It was very laggy. They had this weird mix of streaming games compared to games that like you can download, and even like the streaming games were not that responsive. And I hardwired all of like this stuff. It just didn't work for me. So since this is like a whole new kind of business strategy for delivering games to users, I'm actually going to be comparing Microsoft Game Pass to Netflix. Netflix has profiles. I like that a whole lot. And I like that because if you have other family members or if you have friends that come over and they want to watch something on like a Netflix, you can always direct them towards like a certain profile. Game Pass does not have that. Currently with Game Pass, there are no family accounts, so it's like you can't set up multiple profiles on one Xbox or else on one PC. So hopefully that changes soon. Number 2, Netflix has very good recommendations. Their recommendations come from the user history, reviews, what's popular, and stuff like that. Microsoft has some recommendations, but they are not as good as like a Netflix recommendation. And I'm not quite sure if it's because Microsoft has to get more data from the users, or else if they're just not using the data that they currently have to integrate that with the user interface to actually make like the home screen, or also make like the dashboard more focused towards the individual user that's actually using Game Pass. So better recommendations would be great on Game Pass. Number 3 here. Netflix has the ability to search for movies and for TV shows by actor, by director, or by a movie studio. Game Pass only gives you the ability to search by genre, number of players, and special features like if a game has HDR or else if it's a 4K. You're not able to search by publisher, by director, by rating, or else even by the voice actors that are in like the game. Those would all be great. If Microsoft, gave us a more robust search engine, I think that would make the Game Pass platform much more useful. All right, so with that comparison done, let's jump into the verdict. The verdict. Microsoft Game Pass is a great service for users that do not want to commit to purchasing one game, users that want to try different kinds of games and different kinds of genres, or users that just don't have the money to go out and buy a new game every couple of weeks. Game Pass represents the next generation of gaming. It's a subscription service that offers a wide variety of content and is able to scale that content between console and PC very well. And also, for the entry price of $9.99 per month, it's also a very good value. So, as a person that plays video games and that loves technology, I really hope that Sony and Nintendo are paying attention to what Microsoft is doing here. I think that this business strategy, I think it's a very good idea just because it gives access to more things. Unfortunately, you don't actually own those things, but you get access. And I would love if Sony or else Nintendo did something kind of similar. I mean, right now, Microsoft Game Pass is probably the main reason that I would suggest anyone get an Xbox Series X or a Series S. So that's about it. Well, thanks a lot for staying through the review here, and thanks a whole lot for watching the video. If you like this video and you want to see other content, check out my other videos also. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm up to 96 subscribers. I'm trying to reach 100. Yes! But we'll see if that happens. Maybe. But for now, have a great day. Stay inquisitive, ask questions, and try to be good to other people. All right, it's Marcus from It's Up and Running, and have a good one. Bye-bye.